Welcome back to the Honeybee Home YouTube channel. I thought for my first sit down video it'd be really nice to do a Q&A. One, because I just didn't know what people would want me to talk about apart from like the vlogs that we've done so far, and two, it's always nice to know what people are feeling a little bit nosy about, because we have some fantastic followers, but it's kind of nice to know what they would like to know about us. And all that waffle to say this: I'm splitting it into two parts because I've had quite a lot of questions, which I'm really pleased about, but I think rather than sit here for 30 minutes and bore you all to tears, I'll answer the first batch and then do a part two. So if you like part one, please come back. Okay, let's get cracking. So, Sophie wants to know, if you could give one piece of advice to other business owners, what would it be? Ooh. Good one. I would say done is better than perfect, because if you wait for perfect, you'll be waiting forever. I put Honeybee Home on the back burner for various reasons for quite a long time. So I had the initial idea in 2013 and it launched in 2017, so you can kind of see the level of procrastination was really quite advanced. And I think one of my downfalls really is that I kind of wait until I feel like something is absolutely perfect, and I procrastinate until I'm paralysed into not wanting to do it at all. So, well, really this YouTube channel being a prime example. So I would say just make a start. You will make mistakes. There will be things that you have to learn lessons about, but the sooner you get cracking, the sooner you can learn those lessons, the better you will become. So done is better than perfect, and don't let fear paralyse you into inaction. Yasmin has asked me, what's been the highlight of your years in business with Honeybee Home so far? And maybe a low as well, since we all have highs and lows in business. That is very true, and I am kind of here to show you as much as I can, really, both sides. There'll be amazing days and there'll be days where I'm just like... So, a highlight, one of the highs I think was 2020, which seems like a strange thing to say considering everything that happened, but for us as a brand, we kind of ended up with a lot more eyes on us for various reasons. Things like the fact that we've been doing a lot more PR outreach, and we had some fantastic coverage. We ended up on stylist.co.uk, which was amazing, and we've had some really nice kind of recognition and shout outs from bloggers and content creators who I really like and respect, and so that was a highlight for me. And things like Black Pound Day, where people who already followed us kind of pointed others our way and that kind of thing. So I think kind of yeah, kind of growing in the sense that a lot more people know about Honeybee Home now was definitely a highlight. And I think probably like record figures as well, which I'm really grateful for. You know, we had more orders than ever last year, so thank you all. And a low, probably, and I think this is a struggle for a lot of business owners, especially if you're a small brand, but that feeling of like comparing yourself to other brands and bigger brands and high street names is one where you kind of see very similar things being put out to independent brands, but maybe not executed as well. I definitely have had to break the habit of kind of looking at a huge like multi-million pound high street name and going, oh, I'll never be like them. So would I want to, really? Those brands create a lot of waste. It's very fast moving. Being a boutique, the whole point is really quality. And so that would be a low, I think, because you can kind of, if you are constantly on social media the way that we are with Honeybee Home, you know, it can be very easy to fall into that trap of just constantly looking at bigger brands and people that you deem to be more successful and thinking, oh, I wish I was like them. But there's no real reason that I should want to be like any other brand. So I would say that's one of the hardest things really, is just not falling into the comparison trap. And a lot of overnight successes were years in the making as well. So that's another thing to remember on the hard days, and there are hard days. Overwhelm, I think, is another low. It's one of the most difficult things, where you look at your huge long list of things that you have to do and go, how am I going to get all this done? Okay, Lauren has asked me, what are things you wish someone told you before you started? That probably like what I just said, that like overnight successes are never made overnight, and it's easy to constantly be working on the business. I find it hard in general really to switch off from work, and I kind of wish I knew before I started that there just is always something to do. It doesn't matter how organised you are, there's always something else will come up. There will be social media to do, there will be photos to take, there will be people to get back to, there are a lot of things to keep on top of. And yeah, I would say that's probably one of the hardest things, and I wish I'd just known beforehand how hard it can be to switch off. You have to be really disciplined with yourself on that one. Joe has asked me, how do you switch off from your business and unwind? Do I switch off from my business and unwind? What is your least favourite part of your business? Mine is also going to be accounts. Yeah, I am not the accounts girl at all. I'm not the numbers girl. How do I switch off? I over the years in business in general, have tried to be a little bit strict with myself on how much I do in, say, like the weekends, and actually make my free time and not time to do more work, because if you're not careful you do just end up cramming all of your time that you should be relaxing with work. And so I like to go for walks, and I like to read a little bit and hang out with my family, with my friends. We've done obviously a lot less of that the last few months. I think a few hours just with no digital always really helps. You know, I like to just chill out and listen to music and do like just regular stuff that does not involve work. But yeah, switching off is hard, and it's one of the things I've always struggled with. But do not put that pressure on yourself to feel like you always have to be productive or like you always have to be doing something. Give yourself time to just exist. That's what I did over Christmas. No social media was posted on. I did not check emails. Out of office went on. And having that time to just kind of sit and be actually really helps in terms of being creative, because you kind of give yourself that time and that space for ideas to come up. Whereas if you're focused in on the business all the time and you're running at 100 miles per hour, your brain doesn't have time to just take things in and be inspired. So yeah, I kind of have to force myself to relax sometimes, but the way I do it is by kind of abandoning my phone for a little bit and getting up late and just chilling, really. What's the future of the business? Jess wants to know. I don't know. I hope that the brand grows and that Honeybee Home becomes a favourite independent business. I hope it's on the lips of many thousands of people. I really would like a little pop-up shop one day, because I love that in-person experience with our customers, and I am working on a few of our own products that are made and manufactured in-house at the moment. Well, maybe not manufactured in-house, but definitely designed and made in the UK. I have, what have we got so far? Note cards we have been produced in-house, and greetings cards. We had our range of Christmas cards out over Christmas and they were really well received, and so I know that if we do come up with things that have stemmed from Honeybee Home and we put them out into the world, that they will have the potential to be well received. So I would really like to kind of design and make our own things like home fragrance and accessories. That is what I hope would be the future of the business. And from there, who is calling my phone? I'll be back. Me again. So we We have a landline in the studio and someone called it, I don't know who, it only rang once, really annoying because now I'm off track. Back to the questions, I'll do a few more and then there will be a part 2. Come back for part 2. Let's have a look here. So, Sophie, Asmin, Lauren, Joe, Jess. Okay, Victoria has asked me, when did you become passionate, interested in home decor? That's a really good question. I would love to say it's something that, you know, was my childhood dream, but it wasn't. I wanted to be a teacher from the age of 3 to about 18. And then I kind of became more interested in business as I got older and realised that career-wise, I wanted to be creative and run a brand. I've always really liked the idea of running a brand. And then the older I got, the more appealing it became, and I realised I actually had the potential to make it happen. But in terms of like interiors and home decor, I've probably loved that for maybe half of my life. I really like how an environment can affect you and lift your mood, and just I love being at home. I love being at home, and I really enjoy that Honeybee Home is playing a part in helping other people love being at home. And I thought I wanted to be an interior designer when I was younger, and then I realised that it's actually the styling aspect of that I love. So I love picking out accessories, and I love creating a space, and I love styling a space, and I have a good eye for colour and pattern and that sort of thing. And so it kind of evolved from there when I realised I didn't have to go into being an interior designer to kind of fulfil my passion for interiors. So the last maybe 3 or 4 years, yeah, around 3 years, I've been making moves into the interior styling space. And so my favourite part of Honeybee is styling the products and curating the collections and picking products that work really nicely together. So maybe the last 10 or so years I've been interested in interiors, and maybe the last 3 or 4 since launching Honeybee I've actually been kind of moving into working in the interior space, and it's enormously satisfying. Ali wants to know, why did you decide to start your business, and what's the biggest challenge you've faced? Ooh, why did I start? For years I've worked in kind of marketing and being a copywriter, where I've written for and worked on other people's brands, and I do remember feeling like one day I would love to have my own customer facing brand. And there just came a point where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna start to make it happen. And so we were going to be like an upcycling brand, so I would be like upcycling furniture and that kind of thing. I realised in terms of like time, practicality, resource, patience, I didn't actually want to do that. And so I started to look at how I could create a brand where I would curate collections and have kind of a boutique instead. And so that's where Honeybee Home evolved to the point that it is now, where we hold a certain amount of stock and try to pick things that work nicely together. And I've just always fancied running my own brand, and independence are so important, especially for our economy, and I love that I can be counted as a part of that community. We have a fantastic community of people who run their independent businesses, and I love being a part of that, and the fact that there are several different things involved in Honeybee Home that I love, like being a buyer and creating content and styling products and dealing with customers. It's the kind of thing where I've pulled together something that I really enjoy. My biggest challenge, I think just that there's so much to do. Things like pulling the photography together, was a huge learning curve, and shout out to Yasmin who did our first batch of photography way back in 2017, because the images that she produced made the brand look fantastic when we first launched. And I think, yeah, just the day-to-day and feeling like there's always something to do and getting on top of that list that never seems to end is probably the biggest challenge. And as I mentioned before, just like not comparing can be very, very difficult. And trying to choose things that you know. I think one of my biggest challenges is buying. So it's hard sometimes to not just buy things that you love. And that is part of like the buying process, you know. I will look at things and think, okay, if I love it and I know our customers, then hopefully they will love it too. But sometimes things just don't. They just don't hit. People just don't like them. I remember that copper and rose gold were very popular at one point, but our customers just weren't interested. So one of the biggest challenges I've faced is putting the time in to figure out what our customers will love and what they won't, and not being too disheartened when some things don't sell as well or they don't sell as quickly as you'd anticipated. Jenny wants to know what inspired me to start Honeybee Home. Kind of similar to the question to kind of similar to my answer to Ali's question. I've always just wanted to run a brand, and I love interiors and I love all the different aspects of running Honeybee Home, and I just kind of wanted to use my skills that I'd used to work on other brands and other businesses to do my own thing. And I feel very fortunate that I had some skills to bring in with me, and I wasn't starting completely from scratch in terms of how a brand works and how I would start it. You know, I wasn't completely clueless there, but it has still been a challenge. It's very different having your own brand than it is to working on somebody else's. Victoria has asked me, actually, you know what? Looking at this, I think I might leave it there for today. And so that concludes part 1 of our Q&A. Thank you to everyone who sent questions. Some of the people who asked me questions actually have their own small brand and they have their own little business, and I am huge fans of them all. Sophie runs Silly Loaf, Yasmin has Moments of Happy, Jo has this gorgeous brand where she has silk accessories, Jess has her cosmetics brand, Ali has her own brand as well, and so does Jenny. So I'm going to link their websites in the description box as well so that you can check them out. And thank you to everyone who sent questions. If you weren't featured in part 1, you'll definitely be featured in part 2. If you liked this, please like it, and I would love if you would subscribe. And if you think it would be useful to somebody else, please do share. And I hope to see you back here soon. Bye!